without further ado, we want to definitely bring out the man who has made this all possible, the man who is an expert architect at bringing people together, a man who doesn't need an introduction.
No. Mr.
Bill Berry, come on out here, buddy.
AI infra era. Bottlenecks.
Let's give him a big welcome.
In the A before they burn budgets, stumbling
There
in
you
the
go.
dark. We set the blueprint. Come and play your part. If they want to learn, we can talk at the summit. AI infra with the real ones running. If they want to learn, we can talk at the summit. AI infra with the real ones running.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, man, it's been quite a ride to get to this point. And today we are here. This is our biggest AI Infra Summit yet. And we want to thank everybody for being a part of this, and especially our partners, our sponsors, folks who believed in this from the beginning. Ron, Paul, it was really kind of our conversation a year ago, right? We need to have GTC for everybody else. You can't have just NVIDIA have all the fun, right, AMD? So we're kind of bringing the ecosystem together, yeah. So we're gonna have a big day. I'm gonna just say a few things, get out of the way, and let all the brilliant people start their talks, right? But a little bit about Ignite, if you guys aren't familiar with us, we are a go-to-market advisory team. We've been around for about 3 to 4 years, do a lot of consulting, especially in the infrastructure space, data centers, clouds, right? And our DNA really fits that. Me and Ed go back almost 20 years working on this stuff, right? So really happy to be here. The events, we are not an events company. I think that's just been this running joke. But we do put together events, right? And we want to be really strategic and thoughtful and intentional about it, right? So when you take a look at the personalities, the logos in the room, there's a reason why everybody's here. It's not just let's just show up and let's figure this out. There's really a lot of intentionality that went into this, right? So on behalf of myself and the Ignite team, especially my wife, Nikki, thank you for believing in me and supporting and making all this happen. Love you, honey. Yeah. So we thank you and we welcome you for the day. So real quick, just kind of level set and kind of put things in an easy box, because there's a lot of stuff here, okay? When we first started this for AI Infra, we were saying, hey, we're gonna cover all the layers between dirt and APIs, which is insane. There's a ton of stuff, right? And then just to take a look at what that looks like. There's many of these maps out there. This is from Bessemer, right? And this is just talking about the compute to observability. We're not even talking about the applied side or the data center side. So we like to present this model, especially when we're on the road. We do the CXO roadshows with our partners Supermicro and AMD. And then there's a lot of folks that's outside of Silicon Valley that's just saying, hey, I just hear AI everything. What about DeepSeek? What does this matter? So this map really helps us kind of just organize the world, right? So when we talk about the foundational models, OpenAI, Llama, DeepSeek, those things are very important, as you know, and there's a lot of dollars going into that. But really, the big guys are solving that side of it, right? The layer above, and the more competition and innovation that happens there, the more that it accelerates adoption at the enterprise level, at the applied AI level, right? So we see this because we do these roadshows and we're focused on life sciences and the verticals, and everybody's hands up. It's AI transformation is at on everybody's forefront radar, right? It is important. It's an arms race we can't opt out of, right? And then so we're seeing a lot of energy happening at the top layers, but the top layer doesn't happen without the infrastructure layer, right? So when we look at that crazy map of logos, that's just covering a portion of the infrastructure layer. And then so from an event organizer standpoint, what we're trying to do is connect the applied AI layer, which is enterprise, how AI is being consumed today, and to connect that conversation with the infrastructure side. It doesn't happen in this industry, right? Because usually it's vertically focused. So we believe we did that today with the speaker lineup that we have. We're really, really excited about it. And we're really excited that you guys are here. Now, let's talk about infrastructure, the next great big bottleneck. GPUs was really took the story for the last 2 years, right? But now we're talking about energy and data centers, and there's huge bottlenecks. 70% of workloads are going to be AI workloads by 2030. Yesterday, I was in a meeting with somebody, and he's like, 95% of data centers today are irrelevant because they can't handle these AI workloads. So things are moving fast. 2% vacancy rate. Challenge. US data center electricity use is projected to triple by 2030, right? So right now, it takes about 3 to 4% of the total country's energy to run data centers. And it's projected by 2030, we're going to be around 10 to 12%, there even higher. Yeah. But there's massive delays in getting these power hookups. There's going to be these arguments with the grid, right? And then, so there needs to be innovation that happens. And then there's a lot of capital that is coming in to support that. So the strategic challenge ahead is if we're building these infrastructures, we're laying down concrete slabs, we're building data centers. These things are being built at a 10 to 20 year horizon. But applications, innovations, how it's being consumed is changing by the week, by the hour almost, right? So then how do we bring all of this together and making sure that we're all watching where the puck is going, right? Because it is moving really, really fast. And then, so that's really the thesis of AI Infra Summit, bringing this together, yeah? Is this conversation that we're all gonna have so we can figure things out. New tech stacks are being rolled out, new religions. When I mean religion, like tech religions, right? We're not gonna have this OS argument. It's gonna be about the solution. And for the most part, I think everybody wants to make sure that they're agnostic on their approach so they can future-proof their tech. So I would say, if we are in the gold rush, it's a good time to be in the picks and shovels business, right? So this is, I think for our partners, our sponsors, tech providers that are here today, we all see the same opportunity. We got to come together. We got to have a dialogue. We got to talk about it. So today, we got a pretty packed agenda. I've gotten some feedback that it was a little bit overwhelming. Maybe. Maybe. And then so even though we tried to scope this out so then it could be digestible, like meaning from a day's perspective, there's a lot of stuff here, guys, right? And I think it's as we got closer, there was a lot of demands. People want to tell their stories. They want to tell their solutions. And we tried to accommodate as many folks as we can. Well, we made sure that it's curated and it's filtered and it makes sense, right? So there's multiple spaces here for the day. As you guys see, we have a map. There's agendas everywhere. There's volunteers everywhere. But we have the main stage here that we're all in. That's going to be on the far right. And then there's going to be this main artery, right? We have the boardroom sessions. And then we have the expo hall. You guys probably saw some of the energy coming out of that room. There's a lot of good stuff going on in there. The breakout room is going to be for our larger sessions. You can see a seat 65 or 70. And it looks like we had a really full Women in AI breakfast, which is awesome. We're really happy about that. And then the gallery is where all the food's going to be served. So that's just a good marker. Keep that in mind. And then along the way, you have coffee and water all day. So I think those are the ingredients for us to have a great day. So I'll leave you with this. On behalf of Ignite, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our partners and sponsors for believing in us and leaning in. And then thank you to my team, our community partners, especially if there are any community partners in the crowd. There's right there. Yes. Thank you so much. And you guys have seen on social media, there's everybody that's talking about it, right? That was the effect that we're going after, but we didn't force anybody. we just really brought everybody together under this banner, and then the energy took off by itself. So with that said, let's have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.